Hello and welcome, Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch Reflexology. So good to see you, and thanks for joining me today. I get a lot of comments about things along the lines of people wondering where I got my information and my training from. They are taking a reflexology course and they're saying, wow, your technique is a lot different, or the things that you learnt in your class are amazing and we never learnt that. So what I've been doing lately is going back through all my courses and everything that I learnt and refreshing, relearning, and rereading a lot of the material. The instructor that I had, Yvette Eastman, was a wealth of information. She gave us so much content outside of reflexology that worked with reflexology that I don't even know what true reflexology training versus other methods and stuff into reflexology. I know the reflexes and the points and all that and techniques, but there was so much more philosophy and energy techniques and just so much information she gave to us. So I'm going to be sharing in the next bunch of videos just random little articles, and I'll read them to you, and then I'll give my little 2 cents on how I've used that technique or information in my reflexology practice, and hopefully that can help your reflexology practice grow and expand. So this article that I came across was a healing crisis. So we give reflexology, person receives it, they might be under a huge amount of stress, and you give them a great session, they go home feeling great, and then you get a call from them or you phone them to check up on see how they're doing, and they had an awful sleep, they felt almost sick to their stomach, things like that, right? So this is under the category of a healing crisis. So I just want to read to you this article on a healing crisis and my instructor Yvette Eastman's amazing wisdom on this. So when you begin to receive reflexology sessions or Touch for Health, muscle balancing, or any of the health integration series, you may experience a healing crisis, especially at the beginning stages. This healing crisis may occur as a physical, mental, or emotional event. You may experience nausea, dizziness, fatigue, restlessness, confusion, tearfulness, and irritability. And on the other side of that, you may experience nothing but delightful relaxation. Since each person is an individual, you will each react according to the most appropriate and beneficial way of clearing for you. So for most of you, properly restored energy balance will not occur overnight, nor after one session. Neither did your present discomfort occur instantly. It took time to put you in this position. Healing crisis has a whole bunch of indications, right? So you have like here, nausea, dizziness, fatigue, restlessness, confusion, tearfulness, irritability. So that's sort of what happens. You know, you go to the gym, you work out, and what happens? Your muscles start screaming at you afterwards. And then you come over this hump and you feel great, right? So it's sort of, that's how, in my mind, I think of the healing crisis. Some people don't even notice anything, but some people have these experiences and it may turn them away from reflexology. Having an understanding of what happens when you're doing anything, massage, people will feel really weird after. Acupuncture, all these, the category that we are in as complementary healers is there's an effect that happens and there's something, you know, we move energy, and when that energy moves around in the body, in their body, how they release it or how they deal with it, they might have a pretty big something uncomfortable that they notice, right? And so we're calling this the healing crisis. Something else to be aware of as well in this paragraph is understanding that maybe after a couple sessions, this healing crisis will happen, right? So that's sort of what a healing crisis is. So in this next little part, it sort of tells you about the how of why a healing crisis might happen. So our systems attempt to find and relieve the root cause of your imbalance, the emotions surrounding it at the time of cause, and ones that ensued. Often when there is pain in one area, you will compensate with another system or part of the body. After a while, that part will be fatigued and malfunctioning, and you might even forget the original cause. Often physical problems from the past may occur when triggered by similar triggers in the present time. Unearthing these emotions, revealing past and present pain may cause you to feel a bit worse before feeling better. Sometimes a chronic pain is like an old friend. It has served us well with certain benefits which we may deny. Awareness and relief from pain may cause confusion, irritability, even grief. Sometimes we will say, oh, I hate having this pain, or, oh, this shouldn't be happening to me. But it's like an old friend. It's comfortable. We know we shouldn't be hanging out with this friend, but we keep going back and hanging out with them and sitting in that sort of like negativity thing. And then the next sentence here, awareness and relief from pain may cause confusion, irritability, and grief. So this is a really good one to know about clients as well, because some people really are comfortable with their pain because they've had it for so long. And then when they get a bit of a relief from it, it's almost scary. Like, I know this personally in my life. I deal with a lot of like sort of nervous anxiety issues and things like that. I've been trying to own more of it so that I can actually have more choice of what to do with it. And there's moments where I'm in a situation where I should be feeling anxious and I'm actually not, and it's really uncomfortable, which is kind of hilarious, right? We think, oh, we're in pain and we feel so uncomfortable and stuff, and then when that pain is gone, it allows like bigger space, and it can be sometimes scary. So knowing this about clients is really, really important as a practitioner, right? Because we always think like, oh yeah, we've got to get rid of their pain, and yay, we're going to make them feel good. And we see them when they first come into our session, and their face is all down and they're like dark cloud over them. And then they leave and the sun shines out and their eyes are bright and everything like that. But they go away and suddenly they're uncomfortable because it's a new way of themselves being expressed, right? And they're not used to it. People treat them differently, things like that. So a lot of people go back into their comfort zone, which means going back into having, for example, chronic pain. So this is just something to be really aware of, and that's their choice, right? And it's their comfort level, and we have to understand and respect that as practitioners, right? And so they end up not coming for reflexology. I think it's really important when you do have new clients to let them know that this topic of a healing crisis is very common and could happen, right? So anyway, on to the next paragraph here. For people who are cleansing any type of high overgrowth in the body, the risk of feeling physically worse after the first session is greatly increased. This is because the foreign substances, as they begin to die or be released into the system, cause the body to try to rid itself of toxins. Perhaps too many are trying to leave simultaneously, and the body is unable to cleanse itself so rapidly. I liken it to the 15 people all trying to be first out the door. Some will get trampled and hurt and left behind. I really like that image. So yeah, when we sometimes know this too when we're under great stress of work and all kids and all this stuff, and then we go away on vacation and we finally have time to relax, and guess what? We get sick, right? So it's sort of that same thing. Like all this stuff, our body's holding on to this, all these 15 people trying, hanging around, doing all this stuff. And then when we finally take the time for ourselves, come and get a reflexology session, massage, or go on a relaxing vacation, all these 15 people try to jam through the door to get out. And yeah, we end up like, right? Feeling, oh, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So in the last bit here, what can we do about a healing crisis? So in all cases, be sure to drink a lot more water than you usually do. This will assist the body. Next, realize that your system is undergoing change and is resisting a bit. talk to your mind body, pat yourself on the back, and tell yourself it will soon be very much better. If it helps, blame the discomfort on me. I love that. Since each of you is different, the intensity of your healing crisis will vary. The key to working through a healing crisis is to understand what you are attempting to achieve, to be persistent with your home play, to have patience and faith in what you are accomplishing. Think of it this way. Discomfort during bioenergy management can be looked upon as a sign of progress and accomplishment. We've sort of all experienced where we're fine, we're feeling okay and stuff, and then we start doing something that we haven't done in a while. Like, most obvious one I already mentioned, but going to the gym and deciding to do a bunch of reps, right? Feels okay while we're doing it, maybe a little bit of a struggle, but afterwards we're really, really sore. Like, I go to yoga and feel great, feel nice and relaxed, and then the next day and even the next day after that, I'm like, ooh, that was intense, right? I can feel all these muscles and stuff moving. And so, but with yoga, I have a goal in mind. I'm trying to, feel more relaxed, feel more open, and things like that. So I keep going and going through the healing crisis, and I'm noticing I'm getting stronger and stronger. So really, I think it's great to pass this information on to reflexologists, because we are working with people that are probably going to experience healing crisis, and they might not know what it is, and they think it's our fault. And I love how my teacher said here, yeah, if it helps, yeah, blame it on me, the reflexologist, right? I love that little line. And when in doubt, blame it on the reflexologist. But what ends up happening sometimes is they do blame it on the reflexologist if they don't have a basic understanding that this may be something that happens, and they will never come back to you again, even though they have experienced all these really great benefits from reflexology. So I like to, if I remember, at the end of a session, is explain to the client, make sure you drink a lot more water than usual. We worked a lot of, really relaxing stuff here, and there could be some movement in your body that causes you to feel a little bit off, right? So this is called, you sort of go into, this is a healing crisis. This may happen, but it won't last long, right? Usually doesn't last too long. As far as my experience with healing crises, they just last a couple hours. Some people even get like little headaches and it will go away, things like that. So from my understanding, I explain to them even like what I did already, like when I go to yoga, I have a definite goal in mind. In your practice, having a goal to work towards with your clients is really, really amazing. So I find getting a number system of how is your discomfort right now on a scale of 1 being, no discomfort, 10 being, a lot. On a scale of that, so before the session, where are you sitting at? And then afterwards, maybe bring out the scale again and say, hey, we've worked a little bit. How does it feel? Have you noticed a change at all? And so having, I think, a goal and a focus, the same way as you start exercising, you have a goal, you want to, lose weight, or you want to feel better, you want to feel stronger, you want to be more stretchy. Those kind of things are definite goals, but it seems like to get to the goal, we need to go through these little up and down valleys of, discomfort to get there. But I can tell from myself now, when I first started yoga to where I am now, my body feels a lot more stronger. And then I'm also more aware of when my body is going out, right? So these are really great things to pass on to the clients, that this is natural. That's the thing. A healing crisis, if clients are experiencing them, they can be natural. They're natural, right? There's a natural progression of when we're working through things to have a period of not feeling great, but then you feel really awesome, right? Same thing. When you get a cold, you feel really terrible. But usually after you get well, after the cold, you have more energy than you did before the cold, right? I've noticed this a lot of my kids. So it's the same sort of thing. So I just thought I wanted to share this article with you because it's just so great. And, you know, it's written to us, her students, but I really want to pass this information on to people who are practicing reflexology on to their clients, because people who have never had reflexology before can actually maybe maintain some reflexology clients, because some of them I know will be like, oh, it's reflexology, it's not good for you, blah, 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 because I had these reactions, and then they'll never come back again. Where people who have an understanding of, yes, probably after, especially people that are under a lot of, you know, high stress and really kind of unhealthy lifestyle habits, when they come for reflexology, those tend to be the people that I've seen in my practice have a bit more of a reaction, a healing crisis to reflexology. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. I can keep going on forever talking about this, but hopefully the main points were covered in this video about like what is a healing crisis, why does it happen, some physical reactions to it and cleansing, and then how to manage it, right? So hopefully this was helpful to you and you can use some of this information. My instructor was an amazing lady and she had so much information, and I'm going to be happy to share them in the next bunch of videos with you. So stay tuned and remember to keep those feet happy. Thanks for watching. Healing Crisis. If you're interested in learning more about reflexology, you could subscribe to the channel below. It's also very helpful to hit that like button, and feel free to share it with anybody who you think might be interested in it. You can find my online courses, reflexology charts, and other reflexology goodies over on my website, which is balancingtouch.ca. Thank you so much for watching today, and if you have some more time, you can check out some other videos. Till next time, this is Adam Thomas from balancingtouch.ca. See you later.